No, we're leaving the doors open. I'll let you know when you see.
New scene or something we've already seen?
Oh my goodness. You ready? Okay. All right, we'll get started.
The meeting is started.
Thank you. All right, we'll get this started. First up, we'll do roll call and disclosure of conflict of interest.
Stuart Ward.
Present, and I do have a conflict with agenda item number 5, and I need to recuse myself from that item.
Okay. Edward Ulrich.
Here, and nothing to disclose.
Crystal Matson.
Here, nothing to discuss.
Okay. We have quorum. Agenda clarification.
Tristan Borkwin, Assistant Planning Director. You have before you the regular agenda. You also have a proposed amended agenda due to the conflict of interest that Stuart just mentioned. We have the amended agenda to remove agenda item number 5 from the meeting tonight and move forward with just the remainder of the agenda.
Okay. Do we have discussion or a motion to approve the amended agenda?
I move to approve the amended agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the item that was removed, just so you guys are aware, is the gravel pit, the conditional use permit. It will be scheduled for a future meeting to be determined.
Correct.
So you guys are welcome to stay and listen to the other items on the agenda.
We'll get out of your hair. We'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good.
Off the divide.
People have reached out to me, one of them. I have 2 people who come to me and I can read. Can I have access to questions? Yeah, you can. That's your head. This isn't. I'm sorry. And a broken down car. I was after that, so I couldn't answer the phone. Sarah comes out, she goes, Tristan just called. You gotta get up and clean up. Or wait. Are you kidding me? I lost a drive line on the freeway. Sorry, I'll be there. Oh yeah, I got kids. I messed up. Guy who already got
Yeah.
said no way.
Not usually this big of a one, but
Technically, what happened?
Good seeing you around.
My case has been let me know.
Good.
so what's
I think that's good for
So what?
It's just for the MS4 area. It's just the permit that we have.
With the city.
We have city and, are you leaving?
How many attorneys?
You too.
Hey, good seeing you.
I'm gonna have to ride around where you guys do early.
You come in any time. I was offering people to rip buildings down, but nobody came down there.
All right.
I believe that by the time I get over.
They've all been waiting on me, so I don't have a problem waiting on them. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. I
No,
was
no,
like, I
it's-
bet he misunderstood me.
I did. And then I lost the drive line on the freeway, so
Oh, no.
roll under the car, pull the drive line off, put it 4-wheel drive, gimp it home.
Oh, man.
So I was out in the yard fixing. Why Sarah comes around, she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, fixing the truck. What? Kristen's on the phone. They're waiting for you. I'm like, we canceled the hearing. She goes, no, we canceled one of the hearings. She goes, clean up, go. I apologize.
You're good.
I wasn't gonna apologize to them. I got yelled at coming in, so. My friend, microphone guy.
Fun times. Okay. Public hearing.
All
Do I
right.
really need to read all this if nobody's here?
I mean, you can just generalize,
Generalize.
just a quick.
And they're all agenda items.
Just say everything it says on here is okay.
Does
Are you
anybody?
guys gonna announce the date here or at a later time?
Later time.
At a later time, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so we only have one public hearing, which is the ordinance,
Adoption.
yeah, the stormwater management ordinance. So I have a presentation by staff, and then if somebody shows up, we'll let them talk. How about that?
Yep.
And then we'll go from there. So, okay, perfect. So, staff, tell us what's going on here.
Motion to open.
Oh, sorry. Need a motion
A
to open.
motion to open agenda items.
Number 4.
Just 4? Can I say all of them? Because we're just gonna go through all of them, right?
Well, there's only one
There's
public
only
hearing.
one public hearing.
So we just need to
Okay.
open the public
Okay.
hearing.
I move that we open the public hearing for agenda item number 4.
Do you have a second? Okay.
Second
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay,
Now-
Tristan Borkwin, Assistant Planning Director. You have before you, it's a brand new ordinance, so it's not an amendment to the current zoning or subdivision ordinance. It's just a standalone ordinance. It's the Stormwater Management Ordinance for Bannock County. This is applicable only to the area of Bannock County that is in the MS4, the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System overlay area in Bannock County. So this is, we have a joint permit with ITD, City of Chubbuck, City of Pocatello, and Idaho State University for this. It's something that we have to be in compliance with our EPA permitting. And so we're just here to review it and get a recommendation to go to commission.
So what portion of the county is that area? Just basically North County?
Black Rock,
It's anybody that,
around the city. It kinda ends at Black Rock and goes around the city here.
And then how far north? Does it go all the way to county line to the north? Or to the reservation line or something?
Yeah, kind of the reservation line. Yes.
Okay.
but isn't this more or less anybody that's got curb and gutter and dumping into a drainage?
It's going to the waters of the US.
That's right. Anything that's going into a stormwater drainage, putting it back into the river.
Yes.
Or natural drainage,
Or natural.
natural drainage that ends up in the river. Okay. Okay. That, I do have one question on 303. I have 2 questions on that section. Under C, just make sure I understand this. So the easement, if there's an easement, the fence cannot encroach into the easement. So if the property line goes like to the center of a draw, they can't fence down to that property line. Is that what that's essentially
Correct.
saying?
For drainage easements.
Okay.
Yes.
For drainage, specifically drainage easements, do we need to have language that clarifies that?
Well, it
Because
says drainage easement.
So, yeah, so your charging language before A
Okay.
says drainage easements
Okay.
shall
okay,
conform to these conditions, so I
Okay.
think that's,
that's fine then.
Okay.
I just don't want it misconstrued that any easement can be labeled as a drainage also, you know what I mean?
right.
Right.
Because you know better than anybody, there's a lot of shared easements. You got the swell all the way along the old highway. That is also a utility easement.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
We have some situations like that, like say up Pocatello Creek and stuff where your road's following the creek. But if they went and tried to put their fence right on that line of like the right of way and it's right in the middle of that ditch, they have to go on the opposite side. They can't fence right through this stormwater.
Okay.
So, and I know there's not a whole, well, there probably is some areas like this. So if it's a big, long parcel, say, and the drainage easement is perpendicular to that parcel, they can't fence down their lines through that easement either?
I don't believe so.
I can see certain fences not being allowed in that easement, but if you do like a barbed wire fence or something that still allows water to flow through, you know what I mean?
And it does say may not be obstructed, so I think you could have the argument that if the fence is not obstructing
Oh.
the
not a
easement.
private-
Not a vinyl privacy fence. to go
Yeah.
Through the. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how I would
Okay. I
look
just
at that.
didn't know if we need to clarify that, but that, yeah, obstructed by structures, okay. And then on G, because I know it talks about development and redevelopment and all this stuff. In certain cases, there may not be a subdivision, but in some cases there will be. And the subdivision creates the easements. So I'm just wondering if we should add to that, a deed of easement shall be recorded or shown on a subdivision plat prior to stormwater certificate of completion.
Agreed. That's why we have Stuart. Being a land guy, he kind of has some questions and things that he knows that come up.
Yes.
I'm only familiar with this from my past life, building in Arizona. If you guys, most of you guys know, it doesn't rain a lot, but when it rains, it's torrential. And so this is something we did 20 years ago, and I had to exercise a lot of this type of stuff.
I think that was my only questions or suggestions there.
Okay.
The thing I had a question was what public nuisance, what we constitute public nuisance, because I didn't really quite understand that with water, but that's just my lack of understanding.
And I don't,
403.
there's a definition. I was just checking to see if there was a definition of public nuisance.
There is not.
No.
It didn't make sense, but that's my lack of experience, so.
Well, and it's pretty open, the way it's written, because it basically says if it's considered a threat to public health, safety, welfare, and the environment, it can be declared or deemed a nuisance by the county, but
It's probably not, it doesn't.
everybody's
tell me
gonna
anything.
be subjective to what that is
Right.
considered, you know?
Which is an issue we have with a lot of other terms too of, what's public interest, how do you define these arbitrary terms? So maybe we need a definition for
Yeah.
nuisance or
Or-
public nuisance.
Yeah, either that or you need to just clarify what is considered a threat to the public health, safety, welfare, and environment.
Because your idea of a threat might be very different than mine.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and-
because somebody could look at like a backed up storm drain inlet as a threat to the public because it creates a pond in the street,
You can
right?
drown it, yeah,
Right,
or whatever.
but you can also, in this case, from the county standpoint, I think this is like a stormwater pond fails and it's now running down this drainage or into somebody's yard or something like that. You know what I mean? And so there needs to be some sort of clarification there.
Yeah.
would you like to write a clarification as part of your recommendation to commission?
Do we have any kind of language anywhere else that describes what public nuisance might be?
I don't think so.
Such as, such as.
Yeah.
I don't have any ideas.
And maybe nuisance is just the wrong word to use too. I don't know.
So Idaho code defines public nuisance. Anything which is injurious to health or is indecent or offensive to the senses or an obstruction to the free use of property so as to interfere with the comfortable enjoyment of life or property by an entire community or neighborhood or by a considerable number of persons or unlawfully obstructs the free passage or use in the customary manner of any navigable lake or river, stream, canal, or basin, or any public park, square, street, or highway.
So that opens up a whole nother thing, because that word basin, there might not be water in it, but if you're going by that rule, I mean, that creates an issue, because a guy could walk through the middle of your drainage in the backyard and he's not trespassing because of that rule right there. But I mean, if you don't like grass and I plant grass in the swell, I got a neighbor calling saying I'm being a public nuisance, right?
Right.
Or if my animals are grazing in it. Does that make sense?
Then you're obscene.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's hazardous or threatening, I don't know the right word, but.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the description helped
yeah, that
by reading.
that helped me view it a little different, but still, that we just don't want to put something that's contradictory to what that is, right?
Right.
And the city
Right.
already has the same language adopted.
Yes.
So,
Both cities have the same language.
The ex-
ISU has
the
the
exact
same
same language?
language. And
Oh, it's changed.
ITD has the same.
Okay.
as long as people look up the nuisance, they'll figure it out.
If they're all using the same language, I guess then,
Yeah, we don't need to change it.
I guess we just leave it then,
Yeah.
because
Because it sounds like
I don't
It's
like
gonna be
language because it's very
subjective no matter
subjective and arbitrary. I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
your idea of
And a
nuisance
lot
is
of what
different
we
than
do is, and
Okay.
part of it has purpose to be subjective, but
mine. Okay.
yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that. You okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So that only change, we don't have any changes, right?
Maybe some additional wording on G.
Oh, yep.
G.
yeah, I have that
Okay.
one written down.
Yeah.
All right.
So when
Sorry,
you make
add
them,
one word to that.
okay,
Shown on a recorded subdivision plat.
okay.
That makes sense.
So on this then, we just need to make a motion to accept it as written with the changes to G, correct?
Yes,
As-
but it's
as
a
amended.
recommendation to commission, so
That's
this
right.
is, yep.
We recommend approval
Rec-
with that, with
Correct.
that change.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so do we have a sample recommendation in here that
I
I can?
don't know that we wrote one for
Or do
this
you want me
one.
just to wing it?
Just wing it. I trust you.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember, well, I got a recommendation here from something else, so I'm just gonna plagiarize it. All right.
The very back of the packet is a motion.
The last page, look at that, all
Yeah,
right,
that's pretty.
all right. So based on the record and the discussion this evening, I move to approve,
Recommend approval.
I move to recommend for signature by the chair and vice chair, the stormwater,
Ordinance?
So you have to recommend approval to the Board of County Commissioners.
recommend approval to the Board of County Commissioners, the stormwater management ordinance as written with a change to section 303, letter G, that a deed of easement shall be recorded prior to the stormwater certificate of prior,
Do you want me to read it?
yes.
So it'll be changed to, a deed of easement shall be recorded or shown on a recorded subdivision plat prior to the stormwater certificate of completion.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Got a motion?
We have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Edward Ulrich,
Yes.
Crystal Mattson.
Yes.
Perfect. Motion passes 3-0. Okay, we need to close the public hearing. Need a motion for that?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Okay, motion.
I'll second that, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing is closed. No business items tonight. Items of interest.
So we don't have an update on any recommendations from commission. As far as upcoming public hearings, we have the public hearing on November 20th, and we have the TDR that was postponed from the October meeting, and we have a preliminary plat. I can't remember which subdivision it is. It's one of the lot line adjustments that we've done recently. I think it's the one on Touch Drive.
Is it mine?
I don't think so. I think it's Jose's.
On touch?
On touch, it's,
Touch is mine.
Then it's not on Touch. There are too many of them. It's a preliminary
Is it the
plat.
one off of
it's
Winning
on
Way?
it's the
Patton,
patent
it's the Patton one.
up Mink Creek.
Of Mink Creek?
Yes.
Okay. So mine are in January then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So a short
Um,
meeting in,
So
on the
short
20th.
meeting on the 20th.
Okay,
I am still waiting to hear back from the other two council members for a special meeting that first week in December. I've
And
heard
that's
from
the only one
three
we're
of
gonna
you.
hear? Are we gonna
Um,
do just that one? Because if
so
we're
if-
looking at this tonight, it looks like it's gonna be a long meeting.
Yeah, if we do the one in December, it was really for an ordinance, and that was it. We'll have to determine if we want to try to squeeze the CUP into that same meeting as well, or if we need to just schedule a different meeting for that one.
It's an ordinance to change
It's,
a conditional use for, what's the ordinance for?
so it's an amendment to the current zoning ordinance. We have to add by Idaho code an agricultural protection area ordinance. And it has to be done by January 1st.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that was 15. I read it wrong.
the law says it's more than an ordinance that needs to be in place by then.
yes, we are working on the commission as well.
I read the law today,
Yeah,
so. But that should be a pretty straightforward ordinance too, shouldn't it?
it should be a pretty straightforward ordinance. There might be a few things you guys think of here and there, but overall, all of the counties in Idaho right now have a big email thread trying to figure it out. So we've all kind of worked to hash it out together, and
So it's pretty, so this is one ordinance that'll be pretty similar around counties?
it'll probably be pretty similar,
Oh,
yeah.
that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But it's not a formal meeting like this, it's just a get-together.
It will be a formal meeting. It'll be a formal public hearing.
No, for us to, I thought you said in December?
Yeah.
That
Yep,
will
for
be-
that ordinance. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was different.
And then, okay, so may or may not hear this CUP in December.
Yeah. We'll just have to see. It'll just depend, because I haven't heard back from Chad or Molly yet. And we will really need both of them for the CUP, since you won't be able to be there.
Right.
And so we need to make sure it's a time that the four of you can all be there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And that's it.
No announcements? Okay. Citizen comment? We only have the marshal here, so he probably doesn't want to tell us anything other than go home so he can go home. So,
And I'll apologize to you too for being late.
okay. I think that's it then.